Not all of big tech is American, but we certainly led the way. These companies are very successful. They're very big. They're very powerful. They're really no longer companies. They're countries. And they're going to oppose any of this type legislation. It's why virtually nothing with respect to big tech has passed in the last 5 years. I want to be fair. I think that social media has made our world smaller, which is a good thing, but it has made our world coarser. And if I had to name one fault, it wouldn't be the only one, but I would say that social media has lowered the cost of being an a-hole. People say things on social media that they would never say in an interpersonal exchange. Adults, even though it's depressing sometimes, can deal with that. It's hard for young people. We've talked about a number of problems that are presented by social media: data, privacy, sexual exploitation, but also mental health.
Hey guys, welcome back to Hot News Today. Hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss an upload. Today we're diving into a fiery Judiciary Committee hearing with Senator John Kennedy. The topic, big tech and your kids. Should kids under 16 be allowed on social media?
And the impact that I think it's clearly having on particularly young women in the Gen Z generation, 10 or 11 to 25 and 26. They're living their lives on social media, and they're not developing interpersonal relationships. It's making them very fragile. It's reaffirming this culture of victimhood. They're not getting ready for the world. So let me cut to the chase. I'll start with Mr. Am I saying it right? Golan, I apologize. For young people, defined as people under the age of 16, should we just abolish social media for them? Don't let them access it?
You know, things are so serious that
Give me some quick answers, because I'm going to go down the line.
we should consider all options, but I think we should focus. It makes more sense to focus on a duty of care and changing how these platforms operate. Practically keeping kids off under 16 may be impossible. And I would also say it's not just social media. A lot of these things happen on video game platforms as well.
You think it'll really be easy to change the attitudes of these social media companies?
If you create a duty of care and you limit the data that they can collect.
Senator Kennedy kicked things off strong. He pointed out that big tech companies are no longer just companies. They're countries, they're massive, they're powerful, and they don't like regulation. Social media has lowered the cost of being an a-hole. Kennedy's worried about young people, especially Gen Z, and honestly, he's not wrong. Then Kennedy goes right for it. Should we just abolish social media for kids under 16? No fluff, just straight to the point. Some said we need to educate parents. Others said it's more realistic to improve platform safety. But Kennedy wasn't buying it. He pushed back. Here's a newsflash. A lot of parents don't care. He's saying what a lot of us are thinking. The divide: safety versus reality. The panel was split. Some experts wanted tech companies to build safer platforms and collect less data. Like seatbelts in cars, we didn't ban cars, we made them safer. You can't stop kids from being online, but you can make it safer. No one gave Kennedy a straight yes to banning social media for kids under 16. Even when he pressed them. Everyone agrees something needs to change, but no one wants to draw the line.
What about you, Doctor?
I think we desperately need to educate parents.
I know we need to educate, but should we just tell kids, look, it's a lot like alcohol. This stuff is addictive, and until you're 16, you can't access social media.
There are benefits that also come from social media, and I don't know whether it's realistic to keep kids off of it completely. I think practicing moderation with close parental supervision, with substantial education coming from the school.
Here's a news flash for you. A lot of parents don't care, Doctor. Mr. Mazzaro?
Yep, Senator. Basically, there should be something. If I bought a phone tomorrow, there should be at the very least, a terms of agreement. I can't even access that phone until I go through a 3-minute or 5-minute video.
Okay. Mr. Laney?
An acknowledgement that when you build a tool that allows adults and children to communicate with one another or find connections, that there is a duty of care to ensure that you're creating a safe environment for those kids.
Well, I think there's clearly a duty of care. The issue is how to enforce a duty of care. We'll try to pass a bill enforcing that duty of care in the United States Congress and see what the reaction from big tech is.
Right, absolutely. And creating these tools, recognizing that these incidents are going to happen and finding ways that
So
children
would
can
you
report
support a
them.
law that says, okay, if you're under 16, you can't access social media?
I think will be difficult. There are positive things about social media, but there are many, many terrible things that kids are finding themselves in bad shape.
Conclusion, wrap up. Senator Kennedy said what many are afraid to say, that big tech is out of control, and kids are paying the price. Maybe it's time to treat social media like a public health risk. This is a conversation we all need to be having. Smash that like button if you found this valuable. Hit subscribe for more straight shooting breakdowns. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Thanks for watching. Stay sharp, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next one.